Going live. And I'm live. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Sort of. Thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for those who have given me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. Thank you so much, Kelly, for being first. You get a shout out, Kelly. And Kelly also gave me a chance to do her live on Tuesday, and I was able to read the weekly report, which there was a lot of stuff in there. Hello, Evelyn. Yeah, pretty. Okay. So throughout this video, I am going to be asking you for, yeah, you've guessed it, for words, adjectives, people. So be on the lookout for when I ask a question, then you type it in the chat box and I will write it down. And then after a while, we'll see what we come up with for fun. Okay, I will listen and be getting my feedback done. Awesome. That's what I would be doing right now if I was not the one talking. Yeah, I usually do my feedback when other people are doing their lives as well. I have not done my feedback yet today. I only had 4 classes today. I had, usually on Saturdays, I do 6 to 7, but I had, the early morning ones didn't book, so I just closed them out. And I said, I'm going to take a break today. And then I had, 4 classes, and then my first of the 4 didn't show up. Oh yeah, that's right. He did show up like 4 minutes left to class, and he was a level 5, and I was like, "Hello, Luann." He was a level 5, and I was like, "I'm sorry, you only have 4 minutes left to this class." And he said he was visiting his grandmother. So he knew that it was supposed to be during class. He knew that he was late. So at least I felt better about that. And then when I went back to check my portal, it was actually counted as a cancellation. Why didn't they cancel before that? But I sat there and waited through the whole thing, took some selfies, just did some random stuff. So I was going to say, when you do have those no-shows, one thing that's really good to do is make sure you have a piece of paper and a pen handy, because all these things go through your mind and you can write down your stuff, write down your lists, and, even write a list ahead of time of what you might want to do during a no-show. And because they happen, you don't know when they're going to happen. And then that way you're prepared. So that's what I usually do. And this morning before I got started, I went out to check on my chickens. My chickens spent the first night out in the shed. We have like a coop area. I don't know if you can see that very well. And it's pretty secure, but there are some like little places I was afraid that maybe an animal could get in there. So of course I hardly slept last night because of the crazy chickens. I was just afraid that something would get in there and, harm the poor little babies, right? We've kept them in the house. They're, let's see, they're 2 weeks now. Time flies. And so they're still babies, but they're really cute. We have 12 of one kind, which I can't even remember the name of, which is really sad because I love to know the names of my chickens. But it was an unusual name. And when I went to Tractor Supply, I had called up and I said, "Do you have chickens?" And they said, "Yes." And I said, "Will you have them on Saturday?" And they said, "Probably not. They're going like toilet paper." So this was like on a Friday, so I did not go on Saturday. And then when my husband, we worked it out that I got a car the following Wednesday, they said they deliver all the chicks on Wednesday. So I went down Wednesday, grabbed the chickens because I wanted them and I was afraid there wouldn't be any. And I just went yesterday and they had plenty of chicks, all different kinds that I really like. But I already have 12 and I have 2 bantams, which might be roosters, which I'm okay with that. I would like to have some roosters because then that means that we can try to incubate some eggs as well eventually. I do have an incubator that I have not used. My son bought it a while back, and the tricky part is getting fertilized eggs. I had a friend that gave me a dozen once, and none of them hatched. So I don't really like to go through the whole process and then get nothing out of it. So incubating can be a little tricky. So yes, I have a fun game, and I also need a place. I need a place. So the first thing I wanted to do today was to um, tell you that about my chickens. And I also wanted to tell you, if you have not seen, that our friend Tim, online teacher dude, will be going live. Okay. And when did he say that was going to be, Kelly? I forgot to write it down. I thought it was tomorrow. I think he said it was tomorrow. He had his announcement in the feed because he is a, one of the guys that can do that. I think after you are monetized, you can put announcements in the feed. And he said that he will be going on live. Is it Monday? Yeah. I just want to get the right time. I thought he might stop in. He said he might put an announcement on the YouTubers group. I don't see it. Okay. I don't see it. Weird. Oh, there he is. Okay, here he is. Live at 10 a.m. So early. 10 a.m. Eastern. There he is. And I told him that I was going to be there, and I told him that I would bring friends. So you guys are my friends. He has like a lot of followers. He's going to be talking all about YouTube and his journey to 3,000 subs and tips. How I think of content, what I do, tools I use, challenges, and anything else you want to ask. This is all about YouTube. Okay, so if you want to do YouTube, and then he says, will you come? I said, yes, I'll come, and I will bring friends. So I hope that some of you guys can come. Hello, Teacher Renee Reeds. Awesome. Hello, Gwen. Colonial Williamsburg. I like it. Okay. Colonial Williamsburg. So during this live, I am going to be asking you questions and filling in a paper, and I will be reading at the end. I now need a noun. So in between all of that, if you can keep track of what's going on, talk about multitasking, right? I wanted to say that I watched Casey Oswald's interview with Angela Silva, and that was interesting. And I was able to type in the question, do you have an iPad? And Angela Silva does not have an iPad. I couldn't believe it. And she said that she actually, a cat is a noun. She actually got a teacher was it a teacher no show? Yeah, I think she said it was a teacher no show because her computer was going through a process, and the computer wasn't turning on. And if she had had an iPad, she would have saved the class. So we told her about the iPad group, the VIPKID iPad group. And she talked about joining it, but I didn't see her name yet to join the group. So I happen to be friends with Angela Silva on Facebook. I can't remember how I became friends with her at some point. And I know she's got a lot of friends and a lot of subscribers, so I don't know if she really knows who I am, but I went ahead and invited her to the VIPKID iPad users group. So maybe we'll see her there and hopefully encourage her to get an iPad, because it really does save your class. And, it's only a few dollars. It's only $10, but it could affect your raise. It could affect, your standing with VIPKID and everything. So we want to be careful of that. So that was my iPad news for today. So we have cat, and we also need a verb ending with ing. Verb ending with ing. So I have 12 watchers. Thank you guys. And I also wanted to ask you guys to do a thumbs up It has saved me probably 4 times. Yeah. Jumping. I actually had to use my iPad today. Trying to think of what happened. And then I need a plural noun. Sometimes my iPad, I don't know, I mean, my computer, I don't know if it like falls asleep or whatever. And I also want to apologize for Tuesday when all of a sudden my computer went down. And I think it was my internet, because later I was trying to do the internet and it kept like snagging. So we ended up calling the internet company, Comcast, and we had them reboot the whole thing. So it was something with my internet. It wasn't really my computer. So that happens too. All the mountains. Okay. And then I need another noun. So I'll do apple. And I need a famous person. Famous person. And so, yeah, I mentioned how my classes went, Candy. I had 4 classes today. I had 5, and then the 5th one canceled. I went ahead and closed it out so I could sleep. So that was really awesome. And yeah, I have messages coming in. That's kind of weird when you're on like a live or something and there are messages coming in. I don't know if you can turn that off. Maybe somebody can help me with that. Oh no. Okay, Dr. Fauci. Okay, I'm gonna use a different name because I want to put somebody like different in here. I'm sick of him. I'm sorry. All right, I'm gonna use Elvis for this time, and then I need a verb. I need a verb. So yeah, I mentioned my chickens. Oh, yes, it's my 2-year anniversary. Thank you guys for coming to my 2-year anniversary party. Then I need another plural noun. Plural noun. I'm going to just put in verbs. Verb ending in ing. I'm going to use dancing. And verb ending with ing, spinning. And then I need a plural noun. Chickens. I like that one. I need another celebrity. Another celebrity. I think I saw Oprah in there. We'll go with that. And then a liquid. The name of a liquid. Liquid. A liquid. And then I need a past tense verb. Snapple. Okay. Snapple. And a past tense verb. I love Snapple. Past tense verb. Guys are doing great. Let's see. Slept. And then a food. A food. A food. Turkey. Okay. And let's see. Length of time. A length of time. Length of time. I just did time with my special student. I'm going to be, sometimes it's important to do teacher to teacher feedback. This one student, he keeps turning off his camera, and I'm doing Marianne. Marianne said, she's firm, she waits. That really helped me out, because the student I have had like 4 or 5 days a week, but I think he has classes every single day, because on the other days it looks like he has another teacher, and the other teacher's like, he leaves his camera off, but he's very good with the he can read. He's very capable of all of those things, but he keeps turning off and on the camera. He will put something up to it so that if it is on, it's black. And I used the thing that Marianne did where she went like this with the camera. And he was mad at me because I said he had to speak up. but I couldn't hear him because the camera was going like this. It was really annoying. So I just, yeah, so I just, hello, Casey. I just used Marianne's tactics and I said, you know, I'm going to be firm and I'm going to write it in the teacher feedback, and I'm going to just say, you know, Vince is very capable and he needs to be spoken to. Because when I told him, you have to read, if you don't read, you don't get the stars, then he perked right up. And I had another student. I've never done this. This is my 2-year anniversary and I've never done this. But I had to tell them, you know, if you don't read, if you don't do the work, you don't get the stars. And they really pulled it together. So I think that, you know, we need to understand that the kids are, you know, they're stuck inside. It's hard for them right now. But their parents are paying for this class and they do need to be, you know, we need to make sure that their parents are expecting. So I had to call the fireman for a regular today. The mom would not make him behave. It was an assessment. He kept leaving. He was a nightmare. Yeah. So I don't really understand how VIPKID looks at it, but I do feel like it's part of our job is to make sure the kid participates, not to just be a TV show. So I think that it's good if we can be, um, you know, firm but kind, you know, hold them accountable. Because if you let them keep doing it, like I had one student today, not the one I was just talking about, but the other one, he's a little younger, and his mom sits there usually, and she will almost like I say it, she says it, the kid says it. So he gets used to just echoing everyone, but he can read, and she wasn't there today. So I had to kind of wait for him. And then did a lot of echoing, but then I thought of Marianne and I said, you know, if I only get through part of it, he needs to understand that it's not just an echoing class, you know? And so the more I tried to draw it from him and get the correct response from him, the better things went. And at the end, he was reading very well. So the thing is, when you are a regular teacher, you know what they're capable of, and you can draw that out. And that's when you can use those, you know, weighting strategies and things like that for the class. But if you only have the kid once and then they're gone and never to be seen again, it's hard to know what is this kid capable of, you know. But when you are their regular teacher and you know what they're capable of, then you can employ those tactics and try to, you know, bring the most out of the student. And I think that the parents would appreciate that. So, hello, Amanda. Hello, Amanda. So I wanted to tell you it's my 2-year anniversary and I'm very excited. And my stats are, I've been with VIPKID after today, 731 days. I have had 812 students, 2,981 classes. So I'm getting almost to the 3,000. 74,525 minutes. I don't know if that includes 2 for the level 7s, because I've done a lot of level 7s. So I'm thinking that they're counting level 7 as 1 here, but I'm not really sure. I guess I could send in a ticket and ask. Parent feedback. I am at 997 feedbacks, but I only have 991 5 apples. Okay. So that means I have 6 that weren't 5 apples. I have 5 that were good. So 5 4 apples, and 1 was a 3 apple, which got overturned. So I had that experience to get the 3 apple and go, and so then I sent in a ticket and they, invalidated it for me, but it's still on your stats, which is a bummer. They should just erase it. So, I did get a good within the last like 30 days, but it was from a class a long time ago. So it didn't change my 5.0. So that was cool. So, did I get the raise? Drum roll, please. I got my contract yesterday, and the answer is yes, I got the raise. I was so excited. I got the raise for the 5th contract, so I'm really, really, really excited. And it's really especially exciting to me. Some people have worked jobs where they've gotten paid and they've gotten raises and stuff. I have never worked. Well, I worked when I first got married at a real estate company, and I worked as a teacher at a small Christian school and got paid practically nothing. But as far as working a regular job, I haven't had a regular job, and I have never gotten a raise. I've worked at Christian schools, but every year it seems like I get less money than the year before. It never goes up. So, yes, I got the raise. So I'm just, it's not really about the money. It's just about the accomplishment, really. So I'm really excited. I wasn't sure because I did have a teacher no show because my computer, I think it was my iPad didn't go on or something like that. And I had a teacher no show and I wasn't sure, but I got it. I work like a fiend. I also wasn't sure because I know it counts on how many PPTs that you taught, and I don't teach all of the PPTs on Sunday, but now that I have been home, I've been doing more. So I was really hopeful and I'm really excited. And when it comes to the 6th contract, I am definitely buying the hoodie. I will save my pennies if I have to, but I hope it's still available to buy, honestly. I hope it doesn't go up too much in price. I think it was like $40. That's not too bad. If it goes up to like 100, then I might have to think about it. But I probably will anyway. With me? Sorry, it froze. Okay, it froze. So sorry if you're back with me. Thank you very much for sticking with it. I don't know what went on. I don't know if my computer overheats and then resets. I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting more gigabytes soon. So thank you for sticking with me. And I am still here. So I wanted to also tell you I got the raise. Okay, I am going to be doing some interviews coming up. I wanted to share with you. I'm going to be interviewing Paula Gross on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be interviewing Julie Connor, who is the administrator for the health and mental health and wellness for VIPKID teachers. And she just bought an iPad. So I have been in contact with her about, buying an iPad. She has like done a lot of research and she chose the one that she thought would work for her. And so I thought it would be great to interview her this week. I'm not sure exactly what day it will be, so stay tuned. And I'm also going to interview Meredith soon. Meredith isn't here right now. On Saturdays, she does I think she does a jogging and she runs she does like 5Ks and all kinds of stuff like that. So I am going to be interviewing her. She's just waiting for her life to slow down. She has a couple things she has to wrap up. And I'm also going to be interviewing my friend Julie, who is a nurse, and we're going to talk about, just this time and just little things that pertain to it. So if you have any questions for a friend, she is a helper to people that have been in hard situations, maybe abusive situations, or maybe situations where they've experienced something really, really hard, like maybe like PTSD type stuff. And she is a nurse and she's dedicated to helping people. And so she's a friend of mine from real life. And I see her on Facebook and I asked her if we could do an interview. And she said yes. So I thought that might be good and something that we can all learn from, maybe strategies to help to keep our minds positive during this hard time and everything. And so I wanted to mention that also. I wanted to mention that my garden is going well. My plants are going well. I have a video about the garden. If you want to look at that, things are growing. I have a lot to dig out because where I'm going to plant, it has been a garden before and it's really grown over. So there's a lot to do to get it ready to plant. And in New Hampshire, planting before May 25th is not really a good idea because we can still get a frost. Fortunately, today it is sunny. So I'm really happy. It's supposed to be warm in the 60s today. So it's going to be a great day. So thank you guys for coming. I have 15 watching and I have a fun um, kind of a Mad Libs thing to read in a minute. Hello, Kim. Hello, Cindy. Cindy Pummer, thank you for coming, and Luann. And I just wanted to say that I am really impressed with the teacher community that I have been able to be friends with. I know that I would never have been friends with everyone here if it weren't for VIPKID. And I just wanted to say that I really appreciate you and I'm thankful that I can get to know you. And my desire would be maybe during this time, somebody can rise up and recreate the educational system in America. This is our chance, really. This is our chance to make it happen. I mean, I know in our town, we just built a multi-million-dollar um, junior high school. And, now everybody's home. And what are we going to do if they're all home? We have to do something. And so I think that the teachers in America have proven by being in VIPKID that we have a wonderful force of teachers. And we're happy to do this like privately. We're happy to do it for maybe no benefits, but just, an hourly wage. Teachers have gone above and beyond just being creative and making this a great community of teachers. I mean, spread the word. We need to share this in our own country. My kids need to be online with these VIPKID teachers instead of, you know, what they're doing right now, honestly. So I'm just saying, the time is now to recreate the American educational system, and I hope it's not too late. And my question to you today is, how are you doing? How are you doing during this time? I know that if you have kids, it's hard because we know that they should be in a structured environment. We know that they should probably be doing more educationally, even if we're trying to keep up with what the teachers are providing. We know it's not really enough because it's hard. It's hard to stay on track. It's hard to really put the pedal to the metal when everything else is going on and people are stressed out and there's no place to go. And it's just really, really hard. Extended summer sounds good, but it's really not good for us. So I just wanted to say this is something that I wrote to a friend of mine, that I don't mind really staying home. Staying home doesn't really bother me. I have 13 children, and I have been home with my kids for years. We homeschooled. They had to do everything I told them. I taught them how to bake. We did do gardening. My second daughter is a pretty good gardener. She had the best garden one year. She did it with her, and a couple of the siblings helped out. And I taught them a lot of different skills. We did knitting, we did sewing. They're very capable and they're doing very well in life, but they're away from me now. And now my nest is a little fewer people, and I'm used to like really pressing hard every single day, all day long. And now I'm kind of filling in the gaps. So I don't really mind being home. I'm doing gardening. I'm doing my chickens. I got bird feeders. I'm doing a lot right now. And so I just told this friend of mine, I'm adjusting after having 13 kids and everything about them. I've been always thinking of them. I have always made choices for them, and now they are on their way for the most part. I am doing fine, but my heart does hurt for them. My heart hurts for them and what they are having to face as young people. When I was a young adult, I went out mini golf. We would go for a drive. We would do this, we would do that. This is a really hard time for everyone. And my heart does hurt for them and what they're facing, and my daughter with the 3 kids and everything like that. And my heart hurts for the freedoms that are being encroached on in, and the majority of younger generations are a disaster. Unfortunately, in the state that I live in, it's no secret that, drugs are really prevalent, and suicide, it was prevalent before the virus, and drugs were prevalent before the virus, and alcohol is a problem, and finding good workers for companies has been a problem. And so now we add this to it, it's even harder. So, with this said, we need to be creative and not let our country die economically. We need to be creative and bring something good from this. After all of this, we need to rise above what was the status quo. So what we had before wasn't really, as good as we might think it is. We had a lot of problems. And so now we can pull back and maybe something good can come out of this. Also, Americans need to study our great nation and what made it great and learn that our rights and freedoms were fought for. And we need to realize when we are being, deceived by the media and maybe even some greedy politicians. That's my opinion. My opinion is we can't really change the world. I can't change the world, but I can do something where I'm at. I can be creative. I can do something to make my world a better place. I can encourage other people, and I can pray that something good will come out of this. The teachers, one of the reasons I did VIP Kid is I'm like, education online might be the future. And so when this happened, I was already there. Like, I already knew what to do. I helped my husband set up for church, and we do church on Facebook Live and on our group for church and stuff like that. And so maybe something that we don't, like Angela Silva said, what are you going to do in 5 years? Maybe it's something we haven't seen yet. Maybe something good is going to come out of this that we don't know, that we haven't seen. We keep looking at the past and we want the past. The past wasn't really, perfect. And our education system was a disaster. And so we need to do some, housekeeping. And now's our chance. And maybe that will happen. Maybe we'll be able to do more online and do more one-on-one with our students. And that's my thinking about the whole thing. And for whatever it's worth, it is what it is. So I hope that things can get better. It says unable to connect to the chat, so I don't know if you guys are talking and I just can't see it. So if you're talking, I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring you. It says unable to connect to the chat, live chat. I'm looking to see if I can connect to the chat. Okay, so I'm going to assume that because I went out offline that I can't connect to the chat. So I see that I still have 18 watching. So I'm just going to talk, and I'm sorry if I can't see the chat. But if you do have any questions for my friend who's a nurse, could you post below the video, or you could message me privately if you have any questions for even Paula Gross. I was hoping that she might talk about her YouTube experience, because she has over 1,000 subscribers and she does need more watch time. So if you guys want to help her out, you could watch some of her videos. And Julie Connor, she is a little bit new. I'm really interested in getting to know her better. She's a very sweet and very, very smart person. She has done TED Talks and everything. She's a doctor, I think like a PhD or something like that. So unfortunately, I cannot connect to the chat. So I'm sorry if I'm not seeing. I guess I could go to my phone and watch it over there. So I really would like to know what you guys are talking about. I don't know if I can watch it on YouTube as well or not. Okay, so I'm going to read the Mad Libs, and hopefully you'll enjoy this. The coronavirus has taken a toll on everyone, especially pretty people. In Colonial Williamsburg, restaurants are only allowed to serve cat. Oh no. Musicians are jumping concerts online. All the mountains are closed, so kids have to stay home and play games like Apple. Last week, Governor Elvis gave another press conference where he asked, same as above. He asked Oprah to drive her chickens. After watching, Elvis became so upset that they drank a whole case of Snapple. When that wasn't enough, they slept to clear their head. Well, that was a good idea. Finally, they broke down and ate a whole carton of turkey. Hopefully, things will return to normal in a decade. Yikes. I wanted to pick 1 second. I think Kelly had written 1 second. If not, we'll just have to get used to dancing from home and spinning with friends and family on the phone. So that was it. The coronavirus has taken its toll on everyone. Yeah, that's about it. So it's a hard time. So I was hoping that that might make you smile a little bit. I just wanted to give a little update on my perspective after 2 years. What do I think about a few different things? My tags, after 2 years, my tags have been scaffolding, output, conversational practice, pronunciation, creative, and friendly. And I have not changed them. I kept them. I feel like they pretty well describe me. Most of them were given to me by the LP and not LP, the mentor as well as the parents. So I didn't change them. I thought, yeah, okay, if that's what they think, I think I'll stay with those. And what do I think about tokens? Tokens, I really am not, I'm not a fan. When I first came into VIPKID, I went to the Hutong and I watched all the videos and everything. And I loved learning all about China, but I just really stopped doing that. I just don't really care about getting all the tokens. And when I was getting tokens, I would cash them in for the Amazon gift card. And that was what I would use for my gifts on my lives or whatever, like a $5 or $10 Amazon gift card. And so I don't really care if they go away. I'm not saving them up. I think it's just too much work for so little bit of, I'd rather do an extra class and get myself $10. That's just me. And so I also saw some teachers commenting on YouTube about, are the current teachers going to get the new pay scale? And I'm kind of hoping not. Like, I like it the way it is because you can kind of plan how much money you're actually going to make, and you don't need like some kind of crazy calculator to figure it all out. And I don't really like penalizing the people who only do a few classes and then rewarding people who do tons of classes, because I feel like if you try to push yourself to do too many classes, then you're not going to be as effective. And maybe somebody who only does 20 classes gives it all they've got and they do a great job. Why should they get paid less money? So I guess I would say maybe have a threshold of you have to teach over 20 classes. Like I like the way it is now. If you teach 30, is it 30, you get 50 cents. And then if you teach like 45, you get $1, something like that. I like that because it kind of pushes you to do more than just a few. But I don't really like it that if you get tons, then you get a really big higher payment. And I also have seen rumblings about should teachers get like more popular teachers, or parents can like maybe some teachers are hard to be booked than others and maybe they could charge more money. I think that I would not really mind that as much. Like if they're a really popular teacher and they can get a little bit more money because they're hard to be booked and people are willing to pay more money for that. I don't think I would mind that as much as just a blanket how many classes you teach. Because like say Nancy Taylor, she teaches 10 classes and they will pay her $20 a class. Like she's a good teacher. If they like her and they want to pay the money, I don't see that that's a problem. I think there should be a base amount that everybody should get. But if people want to pay more for that and they really want her as a teacher, because some people would say, well, I really like her, but I don't want to pay the high price, then that's their choice. But as a company, to just make it based on how many classes you teach, I don't really like that. So maybe you guys could chime in on those thoughts. You know, what do you think about the tokens? What do you think about the pay scale? What do you think about possibly teachers getting more money? I don't know. It's just a thought, but I really think that we need to look at this company. We need to look at the teachers in America and the wonderful talent that they have shown by VIPKID. I am here to say I believe that the American teachers have impressed me, and I'm just amazed. It's not just the teaching, it's what they've done to, you know, the Google Slides and what they've done to on YouTube and all of the expertise that just keeps growing and growing and growing. And that should be used in our country. And I know that not everybody could pay. Like I might not be able to pay, you know, $10 per class. That would be what, say 5 classes, $50 a day for my kid to go to do online teaching, like one teacher for every class. But how much money does our country spend on education to have kids sit there and do nothing? A lot of times. A lot of times these kids aren't learning to read. A lot of times they're not doing very well at much as a whole. I'm not saying that there aren't any kids that are doing well, but as a whole, our educational system is not doing well. It is not healthy. And there's something that we can do about this. And we should. And we have the teacher power. But the problem is the system itself is not attractive to good quality teachers for the most part. There are good quality teachers in the schools. I'm not saying there aren't any. I'm just saying as a whole system, it is definitely hurting. So those are my thoughts, and I can't see your comments. So thank you for sticking with me, and thank you for watching, and 13 thumbs up. Thank you so much. And I have a couple videos in the works. So I'll try to post a couple smaller videos as well. And I do have, like I said, I have interviews coming up this week. And stay tuned. And thank you so much for your support and your friendship. And I will see you around. Have a great day. Goodbye.